Well, initially we were presenting to a board of investors and just renowned business people, and Ellen Johnson from Invest NI came along and she was on the panel and she promoted the competition itself. So from then it was just up to us to develop our business plan further and take it to the competition.
I decided to get involved with the Student Awards through uni really. We did a module called New Venture Creation and we had to come up with a business idea, and ours proved quite successful in uni, so our lecturers promoted it quite highly to us to do to enter the awards, and we thought, oh, why not, we'll give it a shot and see how we get on, and it was brilliant, yeah.
Basically we had already started as a group and within our module, and we found out about the awards, the competition, and we basically just thought we might as well go for it. We're going to do the work anyway, so it would be a good thing for our CV and good experience as well in the business world.
We were all friends in uni and we all did the same modules, so we were just told to get in groups for different group projects that we had to do. So we just kind of thought, oh, we'll just do this one together.
Well, handily enough, we were all friends from university, so we were already working on the project as part of one of our university assignments.
We all decided that we would be, we'd work well in a group and that we could probably put together a business plan properly and to a good timeline, and then put the application in and there'd be no problems between us.
Our winning business idea was a project called Dipsticks. It's a drink stir that detects whether your drink's been spiked or not.
So it would be given out in clubs, and whenever it's put into a drink it would change colour just to alert the user that they've been spiked.
So it's basically like a safety device for people in like pubs and clubs, sort of a drinking environment.
We had a drink stir with our name on it. We didn't have a prototype because it cost too much to do. We needed research and development done. We couldn't have had a working product because it would release chemicals into the drink, basically. So we still need our research and development done on that. So we were probably one of the only teams there with just an idea. Everybody had a working prototype apart from us. So that's why we were like, oh, we're never going to get anywhere in here. But I don't know, the idea sold itself, I guess.
The business plan was actually relatively easy because there was 5 of us in our group. We already had to do this as part of our module, so it just made it a little bit more exciting because we were going to get something out of it, and because it was competition, everyone's slightly competitive in some way, and we found it a bit easier because of that.
I really enjoyed doing that. It was actually, the business plan was then marked as our coursework for our module in uni. So it wasn't like doing a bit of boring uni work, it was actually really fun because you got to put your input into it, and whatever you put into that is, it's going to come out the other end. So we all really, got stuck into it and really enjoyed it as a module, because it was like real life. It wasn't sitting in uni doing boring theoretical like coursework and stuff. It was actually really, really interesting.
The business plan's tough, but it's what you put into it's what you'll get out. We had to do it for a university project and then we developed it upon it ourselves. So the more we put in, the more we get out of it. We found it a lot easier presenting to the board at the competition and answering questions just from having a thorough business plan. It all comes a lot more naturally, and you don't have to kind of bluff your way through as much.
Probably a bit of advice would be just to make sure your team bond is really, really strong and you have a lot of trust and a really good relationship with the rest of your teammates. But yeah, just go for it and be yourself and really, really enjoy the ride because it's brilliant.
Basically, the only advice I can give would be to go for it. I mean, you're not losing out. It doesn't cost anything. You might get a free trip away, like we did. We got to go to Dublin. Also, there's monetary funding for it if you do win.
I'd say definitely go for it. Given the current state of the economy, graduate jobs are far and few between, so it's definitely worth doing. It's something to take to any job interviews you go to, something that's going to set you apart from the rest and put you in better standing for getting a job. We had to put in a lot of extra work outside of university to develop our business plan and the product and our presentation so it was suitable for the competition. And just the research that was required for it was a lot more in depth. Having done it in university definitely made it easier. We had the foundation there and the structure, and we put a lot of work in already.
You could do it as completely extracurricular. It definitely helped us because it made us, when we had so many hours free during the day, to do it. But I mean, still we sat for nights upon nights, week after week, you know, doing it. So it was like an extracurricular thing as well as being in uni. So it did help us, but you could have done it outside as well. I gained loads of stuff from it. I gained a lot of confidence because you're getting up presenting in front of these kind of top business guys. It is intimidating, so it really helped me confidence-wise, and my presentation skills improved dramatically because of it. And I think just the general experience really helped me when I graduated to get a job. Just that on your CV looked brilliant.
The whole experience, I think, really has, you know, given me a lot more confidence to speak in front of people. I think I've gained some good experience to write on my CV for any, you know, job applications, and I've just learnt a lot more about being an entrepreneur and generally what goes into setting up your own business.
I feel it's helped me to develop as a person in terms of just being able to present in front of people. It's given me more confidence. It's given me a lot to talk about in interviews, and generally just, I suppose it could be a potential career for myself, you know, to go ahead with the product and take it further.
The high of the competition obviously would have been when we won, when we stood up on stage and was like, I can't breathe right now. But it was brilliant. It was definitely the high. Probably a major one of my highs would have been actually as well when we came out of the room after we had pitched our presentation to the guys, or to the dragons or whatever. That feeling when you come out because you thought, oh, that's it done, like I can't do anything else now.
It's good for a CV, you know, we've done a business plan. Employers are going to think, okay, this guy knows what he's doing here, you know, we want him rather than somebody who hasn't had any experience doing this within the business world. And also the winnings. Highs
are obviously winning 10 grand, you know. Lows are definitely the amount of work you have to put in, but it's all worth it in the end, you know. What you put in is what you'll get out.
Low probably would have been waiting for the announcement. We didn't think we'd won at all, so it was such a surprise. But beforehand, in your stalls where you're kind of waiting around and everybody comes out and examines your stall, it was really intimidating because everyone was kind of fighting to speak to people.
It took quite a while at times to, you know, get through all the different stages of applying, and then obviously the presentations all have to be good, and you have to learn it, and you have to be confident in going in to do the presentations in front of the judges. And
that was probably quite a low for me because it was like, oh, they're not even looking near us, we're so not going to win. But yeah, it was all great. Yeah, it is quite an intimidating experience, but the highs are definitely worth it, definitely.
Setting up a business is definitely something that would interest me in the future. Having the right product and the right business plan, the right partners and the right investment, it's something that we'll need to see about before then.
Yeah, I mean, it gives you a taste for it, it really does, and you kind of think, oh flip, like, you know, how far can this go? And I think a few of us would definitely like to, you know, take it as far as we can.
It's something I would love to do. I mean, if you're working for someone else, you're making them money, and they're only paying you a cut of that. Whereas if you're working for yourself, you're making your own money, and you're more inclined to be more driven, I think, anyway. And I think it's something I would definitely look into in the future.
Definitely, the people you meet at the competition, just getting up there and practicing, pitching your product, it's something you're going to have to do if you go to start a business. It's all excellent experience. Although it's just a competition at this stage, if it is your business, it's something you're going to rely on and you're going to need to make your business a success.
I think it's very important because beforehand I wasn't, you know, too keen on setting up my own business or, you know, being an entrepreneur as such, but now that I've done the competition and we got so far and I've enjoyed the whole experience, I think it's definitely something that people should be looking into, especially for the current economy as well, and the whole Irish economy could do with more entrepreneurs.
I think it's important because I think a lot of students just come out of uni nowadays with 3 or 4 years experience, and it's just theory they learn, and it's just what their lecturer tells them and what their classmates do, whereas this is such a good experience because it gives them first-hand, like, real life scenario where you're meeting with proper investors and that sort of thing. And the people that we met, it was fantastic, and we had to go and pitch as we weren't students anymore, we were proper business people, and it was such a good experience. And even for interview skills, when you're going for interview for jobs after and stuff, it really, really helped me that way. So I mean, if I was given the opportunity again, I would do it 10 times over.